All right, for more, let's bring in Rob Shaw at the BC Legislature. Rob, tell us what else the Premier's response included today.
Yeah, the BC government rolling with the punches here today. The Premier announcing that he will table new legislation next week to give him the power to better respond to the American tariffs going up and down in several new ways, some of which you heard in Corey's story. The first would be a surcharge on trucks that pass through British Columbia to supply Alaska. The fee and timeline to be set later on that. The legislation would also let BC reduce interprovincial trade barriers, a complex subject involving the various ways that provinces promote their own goods at the expense of those from elsewhere, and also to recognize the training and credentials of workers certified in another province that arrive here in BC and face all sorts of regulatory hurdles. Here's the Premier.
Among other authorities, the legislation will give government flexibility to respond rapidly to executive orders from the President as they arise. It will also assist us in developing the long-term solutions that we need to ensure our economy grows, and that although we face this threat right now, we will come out the other side stronger, more united, and more prosperous than ever.
Nova Scotia is actually leading on this last week, introducing a bill to treat all the goods manufactured in other provinces like they came from Nova Scotia. The opposition BC Conservative leader, John Rustad, he took that and created his own bill here for BC, but did not find NDP support for that. Here he is today.
Why is this Premier making it difficult? He's talking about maybe there's a couple of things they can work on. That's ridiculous. We have barriers in this country that are the equivalent of a 23% tariff on British Columbia. Tear these things down, quit with all the virtue signaling, and actually do the right thing for British Columbians.
Meanwhile, in Ontario, Premier Doug Ford forging ahead with his own retaliation on electricity exports to New York, Michigan, and Minnesota. Here he is on CNN today.
Let's just put an end to this and let's start building our economy. But as of Monday, this Monday, we're putting a tariff, 25% tariff on the electricity to the 1.5 million homes and businesses in those 3 states. And honestly, it really bothers me. We have to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to send more electricity, more critical minerals, more oil. That's what we want to do.
BC hesitant to follow suit there. The Premier pointing out that BC sells power to California, Washington State, and Oregon, which helps keep our rates low here. BC has also been forced to import electricity during recent summer droughts, meaning any threat to the Americans on that file could blow back on us in our moment of need. Here's the Premier.
We are highly integrated with the U.S. electricity system. And it will definitely send a strong message to Americans, but we've got to do it in a coordinated way, and I look forward to working with him and the Prime Minister on initiatives like that.
So we will see what this legislation actually contains next week. Years and years and years, premiers have been talking about breaking down those borders between provinces. There's always some little red tape or regulation left on the books to make it difficult, Stacey. We'll find out that next week, along with who knows what from the American president.